Right now, there's someone waiting outside the window right behind you. There are 20 quintillion animals in the world. 2.5 billion living beings for each human. And for thousands of years, we have survived thanks to a single rule. They obeyed and we ruled. But what if that invisible bond were to break today? Your loyal friend is a hunter, the sky a graveyard. What if your house turned into a cage? Our civilization, how many hours would it last? Zoopocalypse, the end of humanity, the triumph of nature. I am Onyx Abel, and today, you will witness the price of our arrogance.
Humanity has survived thanks to an unwritten contract with nature. We gave them names, we tamed them, we fed them, and in return we expected obedience. But this morning, that contract was unilaterally torn up. Can you hear the silence outside? This isn't peace, this is the calm before the storm. The birds chirping is no longer a song, but a cry of war. Today, we will be watching our longest descent from the top of the food chain to the bottom. Zoopocalypse is not just a theory. It's nature refusing to carry us any longer. Our arrogance was our greatest blindness. And now, it's time to open our eyes. The apocalypse won't begin with a roar of lions. It will begin with the tapping of millions of tiny legs. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. While the cities lay dormant, a microscopic army mobilized. Ants, termites, and mice. They are gnawing away at the copper cables, internet lines, and water pipes that are the lifelines of modern civilization. Why? Because they no longer detect that threat coming from humans. You'll understand when communication breaks down, your smartphones turn into shards of glass, and the city is plunged into darkness. That thin shell we call civilization, how fragile it actually is. The smallest ones started the greatest destruction. Look into their eyes. Those innocent eyes in your home. Do you still see the same love, or is it a reckoning? Our millennia-long efforts at genetic engineering and domestication evaporated overnight. The cats remembered the wild pride of their ancestors. The dogs, however, chose their own wild nature as the leader of their pack, not you. Hospitals will start to overflow, but the enemy isn't outside, it's in your kitchen. It's waiting on your seat, or even by your baby's crib. Betrayal is the sharpest tooth of doom. That moment you see the stranger in the eyes of your most trusted friend. That's the moment when real fear begins for humanity. Lift your head up. The sky no longer belongs to us. The trillion-dollar empire of modern aviation is helpless against winged creatures weighing just a few kilograms. A single flock of birds can turn a jet engine into a metal tomb in seconds. The airspace was closed, cutting off intercontinental connections. Humanity is now trapped on concrete islands of its own making. The birds are watching us from the sky. They're recording our every move, every moment of panic. They were once symbols of freedom for us. Now they are our executioners above. There's nowhere to run because they can see everywhere. 70% of the world suddenly became a no-go zone. The oceans can no longer tolerate the massive masses of metal they have been carrying on their backs for millennia. Whales and orcas attack, not just to survive, but also to clear out prey. Ships are capsizing, and ports are under siege by gigantic sea creatures. But the biggest blow comes from deep within, underwater internet cables connecting continents. When sharks perceive that magnetic field as prey and tear it apart, the global economy will return to the dark ages in seconds. Humanity is now trapped on its own island, on its own continent. The blue world has closed its doors to us and never wants us to know what's inside. The brutality beneath the asphalt has surfaced. The true owners of the forests, steppes, and mountains are taking their first steps into our concrete caves. There are no more zoos. The cages have been broken. But that's not the most frightening thing. The most frightening thing is that they are organized. Wolves are now hunting not only in the forest, but also in subway tunnels. Bears don't even see supermarket doors as an obstacle. Cities are no longer a source of pride for you, but they were all designed for human enemies. With their narrow corridors and dead-end streets, they are perfect hunting grounds for their new owners. In these streets that we once governed, only one rule now applies. The fastest survive, the quietest hide. We have armies, we have tanks and missiles. Thermal cameras are blinded by the heat of billions of tiny insects. Drones are caught in the suicide dives of flocks of birds. When drones are brought down by flocks of birds in suicide dives, technology only becomes a heavy burden. Animals don't follow our war strategies. They know our biological weaknesses. We don't sleep, we get hungry, and we get scared. They're not sleeping, they're just waiting. The world's most advanced defense systems collapsed overnight in the face of nature's chaotic yet flawless intelligence. This is not a war. This is a process of being expelled from the system. Psychological breakdown comes last. When that arrogant dream of believing ourselves to be the center of the universe ends, all that remains is raw loneliness. The fact that the animals we once called domesticated now look at us like mere pieces of meat has inflicted an irreparable wound on our souls. Humanity is no longer a community, but a collection of disconnected individuals whispering to each other in dark rooms, struggling to survive. They transformed into shadows, whispering to each other in dark rooms, struggling to survive. To go from the top of the food chain to the bottom in a single morning. This is not just a physical catastrophe, it is the spiritual bankruptcy of our species. Nature is sending us a message. You were never here to stay permanently. You were only on a long visit. And visiting hours are over. We were afraid of mountain hunters, of lions, wolves, sharks. But our real executioners are far smaller. Trillions of arthropods, the true inhabitants of the planet, have emerged from their hiding places. They have no walls, locked doors, or safes. They seep into every crack. They're there with every breath you take. They don't need weapons to conquer a city. They just need to be there. The weight of all the people in the world is almost equal to the weight of all the ants in the world. But they act as a unified whole while we are fragmented. Mathematics never lies, and today mathematics is whispering of our demise. The cities fell silent. The noise of factories, the sounds of exhaust fumes, the laughter of children. It all gave way to one thing, the great silence. Humanity is no longer an actor, but merely a spectator. Hiding in the concrete jungles we've built, we watch as nature reclaims everything. The electricity has completely gone out, and the sky is clear and star-filled for the first time in thousands of years. But we don't have the peace of mind to admire this beauty. Because in the darkness, in that silence, someone is still watching us. Was our period an accident, or just a brief interruption? Nature has already given the answer to this question. If this is the end for us, what will be left? Is it just our plastic waste, nuclear debris, and a few pieces of metal we hurl into the sky? No. Our greatest legacy will remain silence. Nature isn't punishing us. It's simply restoring its balance. The world without us is not darker. It is more balanced. The seas are cleaner and the forests denser without us. Perhaps Zoopocalypse isn't a catastrophe after all, but rather a chance for the world to breathe deeply. We were not the owners of this planet. We were merely rude tenants abusing its hospitality. And now, the lease has expired. Look out your window. That bird, that cat, that little bug on your doorstep. Do you still think they obey you? Or are they just waiting for the right moment? Listen to the silence. Because the next voice won't be your voice. I am Onyx Abel, and thank you for joining me on this journey beyond time. Keep asking questions, because the answers are always closer than you think, perhaps right behind you.